Well, hello, and happy almost summer to you. We're right here. The month of May is literally on our doorstep, which means that summer will be here very, very soon. And we at St. Paul's are looking forward to an incredible summer together. I wanted to go ahead and give you a heads up and invite you to participate in some things now, to go ahead and register, to go ahead and get involved with things that will help us have an incredible summer together. Some of these things you've already heard about or you'll hear about very, very soon. Of course, we've been registering for Vacation Bible School, and plans have been happening for quite some time, and more training will come for Vacation Bible School in the coming weeks. You'll hear about a supply drive, as many of you just incredibly step up each and every year to help us with particular supplies for Vacation Bible School. So all that's going to be rolling out very soon. We've talked a lot about summer camp for our children and youth. We've got a fundraiser coming up in a few weeks, and I know many of you want to be involved with that and want to participate and purchase baked goods and casseroles to help support our children and youth that are going to be going to summer camp at Warren Willis Camp this summer. Our children's families and youth families are going to be gathering in a couple weeks as summer begins for a movie night, and we're going to have some other special events hopefully this summer to gather those families together and to create community and have a really good time. So all those things are, just literally on our doorstep. But there are some other things that I need you to be aware of, and they will also solicit your responses to help this summer be even more impactful than just the events that I've already spoken about. The first thing is I need your help really planning worship. And here's what we're going to do this summer. We're really going to have a wonderful summer in the Spirit with preaching and teaching from particular biblical stories and scripture passages, and using hymns that would be like your top 10 requests. So the ones that you find very dear to you, particular scriptures, particular stories that you have not heard a sermon from. If you have those, I want to know what they are. I want you to email me as soon as possible. And also if they're particular hymns that perhaps are meaningful to you, but we don't normally sing or we don't sing very often, we want you to send those to me, again, as soon as possible. Within the next week to week and a half will be very, very helpful. Of course, my email is really easy. It's jkninght@spocala.org. Stop what you're doing, pause this video, send me those things. That way we can work together to create an incredible summer. Summer in the Spirit, we're going to call it, and we want to use and incorporate those hymns, those songs, and those scripture texts that mean a lot to you. Now here's the caveat. If we get a huge amount of replies, of course we can't use all of them, and so I hope that you will give us some grace to find the ones that are correlated and to use those. So please give us a little bit of grace in that. And so we want to incorporate those things, but we may find ourselves not being able to incorporate all of them. But I will keep that on file, and maybe we'll return to that as well. There are two opportunities for small group discipleship this summer that I want you to be aware of. And these opportunities are going to be open to youth and adults, okay? The first is we're going to have a summer Bible study. We're going to read the book of Hebrews together. We're going to have 4 sessions where we gather and discuss the book of Hebrews. That's going to be on Wednesdays, selected Wednesdays at noon in the fellowship hall. We wanted to put it at noon, so those of you that perhaps work on during the weekdays, if you wanted to be able to come and be with us for 30 to 45 minutes, to bring a lunch, to come and be with us as we discuss the book of Hebrews. And on the registration page, you'll see the dates. There are 4 selected dates, 2 in June and 2 in July. And so please know that we welcome all youth and all adults to be a part of that, all right? The second opportunity is we're going to have a book club, okay? And so we're going to be reading a book together, and we're going to meet 4 times as well during the summer, twice in July, twice in June, to look at a book together. And this book is a pretty important introduction to a larger conversation that I believe is incredibly important. And I want to be very, very clear here. this book and this subject matter may not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. This is not meant to alienate, to divide, but after lots of prayer and introspection and study, I believe it is a very important subject matter for us to talk about. The book, as you'll see in the registration page, is called American Idolatry. And what it does is it starts to look at the really disheartening ways in which faith, Christianity, and cultural religiosity can be misconstrued and perverted in ways that really work against the gospel, and start to meld things together, like things that are really good, like patriotism and like having pride in being an American, being an American citizen, or living in America, and how those things can really take away from the strength of both of those realities. And so we're going to read a book together that kind of introduces us and gives us more language and more understanding about that, so that we may understand as a church, not just as a local church here, but as a part of the larger church, what we need to do to be not only aware and mindful of those destructive things, but also be on the lookout for them, so that we may live a more faithful, a more just, a more Christ-centered existence in our current culture. Very important. Please look into that book if you're interested. If you're not interested in having that conversation, I totally understand. Okay, you're not going to hurt my feelings, but there are many of us who are concerned about this and want to have this conversation. This is not a book club for anger. There may be some friendly debate, but we will set some expectations about how we communicate with one another. And I pray that it will be something very meaningful for us. And I know that I'm looking very much forward to having the conversation with those that want to be a part of it. All right. All of this can be found at spocala.org/summer. And so you'll be able to go there, and it'll give you a little bit more information about the summer Bible study, give you more information about the summer book club, and you register there. Okay, so that's spocala.org/summer. And so please go ahead and check that out if you are a youth or you are an adult and want to know more about participating in that this summer. All right, grace and peace to you all. It's going to be a wonderful summer. Don't forget, we need your responses. We need you to check in and give us some of those scripture passages and some of those biblical stories that perhaps you haven't heard a sermon preached from or worship designed around. We want to incorporate those this summer as we enter into this beautiful, beautiful season together. All right? Grace and peace to you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful month of May, and get ready for the fun that the Lord has in store for us.